welcome to my channel. My name is Shonya, and today, finally, I'm making another mushroom ASMR video. I know you really liked the last one, and many of you asked for more mushrooms, but it was summer and it was very dry. My region is very dry in summer, so no mushrooms. But now it's been raining for like a week or even 2 weeks now. We fell in love in October, and I was at my apartment in the city, and my mom texted me that they went foraging. They thought it was like too early, but they foraged so many mushrooms, and I asked her to save some of them, so I could make videos for you. Also, I remember last time you liked the ASMR, like the mushroom makeup, when I was doing like mushroom makeup. So, and I want to make another video, separate video about doing your makeup with mushrooms. I asked you on Instagram and on my Telegram channel, and you voted for 2 separate videos. So yeah, go to my Instagram and Telegram if you want to like participate sometimes. But yeah, one introduction. So for today, we have basically only three types, only 3 species of mushrooms. First one is these red, kind of like ginger, mushrooms. I have all the names written down because I don't remember their correct name. So this one is the red aspen mushroom, or also orange cap balletus, red capped balletus, and the Latin name Lexinum, or I guess Lexinum aurantiacum. Okay, whatever. So these have very nice, very gentle, very nice, very demure cap, and I have them here in different sizes. I also have twins. They are still like inseparable. And I have this one that's very long, and a few very little ones. I think it's gonna be fun to use these for makeup later for my other video. They are all super cute, and I think I can just do some tapping as the last time with them. They are super nice. And I also wanted to tell you a little bit more about mushroom foraging culture for Slavic peoples, because we have mycophilia. I guess you can say mycophilia, whereas in the West, especially like in America, there is mycophobia. One person on Instagram told me Americans are such mycophobes. I'm like, what the hell? What does that mean? And he explained to me that people are afraid of getting poisoned, and I think it's legit, guys. It's legit. If you don't know which ones are safe to eat and which ones are not, then you shouldn't be foraging at all. It's correct. That's how you should do it. But these are completely safe and fine and tasty and nice. But yeah, since the beginning, since the existence of Slavic tribes, you can talk like modern age. It would be Czech people, Russians, Ukrainian, Polish, Slovaks, and so on. Many of us like foraging mushrooms as, oh look, hear this, this sticky sound. We like foraging for fun. It's go in the forest, spend time there, and forage. But in the past, especially during famine, and we had a few like famines in Soviet Union, yeah, difficult times. People were really relying on mushrooms. No, they would not have like most of their calories out of it, but still. My grandpa, for example, he was born and raised in a small village between St. Petersburg and Novgorod. So, like, I mean, I guess you couldn't really call it the north of the country, or you could. I live in the south, in the southern part of Russia. But yeah, there they had a lot of different mushrooms. Scratch, scratch. And he learned which are edible and which are not. Going to the forest, going foraging with his parents. Unfortunately, I do not possess this knowledge. And supposedly my mom, I mean, she's not sure. When we get like new mushrooms, we always call for our grandpa to confirm if these are edible, because we don't really trust ourselves, but we trust our grandpa because he's been doing it for his whole life. And going, back, talking about Slavic tribes again. I guess I tried to talk about it, but mushrooms had basically like very sacred meaning. Sacred meaning for Slavic people. I think these are not as sticky as those in the last video. I'm not sure why. And you can see that they are not as appealing because they've oxidized a bit. It's been like 4 hours, I guess, since they came back from the forest. I tried to come here as fast as possible, but the Russian roads, traffic, my region is overpopulated, my city is overpopulated. But yeah, I'm thinking, why are these not as sticky as they were? It's nice. Maybe because they spent some time in the fridge. Even though they have the moist, the moist. Okay, before I tell you more about like Slavic ancient beliefs and so on, I want to show you the next type of mushrooms that I have here. And these are, I imagine these are the same speed. Oh, his cap is quite. Oh, okay. So these are birch palettes, or rough palettes, or brown cap palettes. So birch mushroom, we actually also call them birch palettes. We call them podberezovik, which means like under birch. So like they're growing under, next to the birch trees. And this is the small one. And the big one, these are the same one. It's just this one is kind of like a grandpa, and this one a baby. these are sticky. Yeah, sticky. Very nice. I like how they smell. They smell like, I mean, kind of like forest, like mushrooms, like moist, like soil, in a good way, guys. In a good way. Okay, so about sacred meaning. Slavic people, they were pagans, right? They believed in different deities, and they would sacrifice, give mushrooms as sacrifice to Veles. Veles was the god of underground, of the other world, of the other side, and yeah, like god of forest and cattle too, as I remember. And so why did they do this? Why did they give him mushrooms? Because look at how, let's look at a more appealing one. For example, this one. Okay, so look at its shape. It has this round cap, which I think, or I mean, I read about this theory. So the round cap reminded them about the earth, with all the living beings here, especially when they were looking at Amanita muscaria, or like fly agaric, or how you call that, yeah, the red one with the dots. They thought that these are like people, everyone who is dwelling on the earth with the dots. Or it could also be the lightning from Perun, the Slavic Zeus. So, but the stem was going underground, and underground was the other world, like people are going to the ground after they die. But at the same time, there was not a single like root. There were this mycelium, yeah, you call that, a web that connected mushrooms with each other. So they thought that mushrooms were not plants, and they weren't animals either, which is true. Like they are fungi, right? But they thought that they are something between living beings and the dead beings, the unalive creatures. And that's why they thought that mushrooms were very, very important for the god, to give it to him. And I mean, different tribes, different Slavic peoples from different regions believed in different things. But for example, I read that in Belarus, mushroom foragers used to pick a few blades of grass and a few branches, or like a few sticks, and put it like on their head, put it in their pockets. So they tried to become one with the forest. And some believed that if they went to the forest and then saw mushrooms, or even touched them but didn't pick it. Look at this one. This one is the red cap. This one is huge, but its head is like super shaky. So they believed that they could spoil the whole family of mushrooms if they just looked at it but didn't pick it. the first mushroom, or the Amanita muscaria one would be given as a sacrifice, as a gift to Veles or Perun. I read this interesting article. It was written by a Czechian man, or like a Czech man, yeah. And so his grandpa, daddy, he was still practicing paganism, and they had the grandpa had a statue of Perun, so basically like the Zeus, and he would pick mushrooms and give it to the statue in the garden. Oh, look here, listen. These gills, even though it doesn't really look like gills, it's all like spongy, you know? Very spongy. They sound so good. I'll leave you the link in the description if you're interested. You can read that article. But there is a quote from that grandpa that I liked. He said that mushrooms are good for you, but the ones that have their own spirits, like the ancient mothers, and it's like fly agaric or Amanita muscaria. So those were called ancient mothers. They will take your soul if you don't give them proper respect. And about fly agaric, you know, people used to use it as it has toxins. It's not as poisonous as some people think, and actually you have to eat a lot of those to die, and our organism will try to pick it out. I'm not promoting eating Amanita muscaria, no. But people used to consume those to get in a state of trance, you know, especially shamans. And they are popular. I mean, they were popular, and I think still popular in Siberia. And you know, there is this new trend for young people in Russia, for young men, to practice microdosing. So they eat a little bit of these mushrooms, like a few grams, maybe even less. And supposedly it helps them. I don't know, but they do that. And the third type of mushrooms that I have here, the third one is honey mushrooms. Honey mushrooms, or their Latin name is Armillaria mellea. So those are they kinda look. I think they kinda look like these. How do you call them? Chanterelles, but these are not yellow. They are more like brown. Even though I believe they oxidized quite a bit, especially the stem. But and they don't have these how do you say, what do you call these, like waves, you know? They are not curly on the sides. And I have like a little bowl with them here. Oh, juicy mushrooms. Nice. So, yep, people used to eat even those that are not considered. So yeah, people used to eat these mushrooms, even those that are not edible, that are considered non-edible nowadays. I know my mom, oh, you cannot see, the pen is right there, but my mom has already cooked like half of them, and these are the most appealing ones. I'm gonna eat them after I finish. She fried them with onions, and we have potatoes. We have mashed potatoes too. Can you hear it? There is a lot of moist inside. You know, with mushrooms, it seems like they take so much space, but after you dry them or fry, there is almost nothing left. I know that Native American people also used to practice shamanism by consuming different psychedelic mushrooms. But I imagine that the American psychedelic mushrooms are much stronger than those that we have here. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know enough about them. Damn, these are so juicy. So moisture. So moisty. I know that a lot of people hate the word moist. I'm sorry. I personally, even though people hate it, I personally find it normal. It's okay. Okay, let's do this. Mushroom practice. I take all your worries out. You will be fine. Oh yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh. Bam. You know, I told you about Baba Yaga in the Slavic mythology videos. Baba Yaga is often depicted surrounded by mushrooms, and I think it's not just like a nice, even though it's a nice artistic, creative decision, yeah, to put those, because like Slavic for the mushrooms, but I think it's another evidence that mushrooms are connected with the other side, because Baba Yaga is basically on the verge. On the mushrooms, so I'll just do the mushroom sounds for maybe 2 minutes, okay? So those people are satisfied. Well, thank you guys for staying with me tonight. I hope you liked these beauties, even though they're a bit oxidized and there is a little bit of soil on them. But you understand, it's like nature. I didn't want them to be soaked in water because then, I don't know, I feel like they would like absorb all of it and wouldn't be as firm. I'm not sure. But thank you for watching this video. I hope in the future I can make more videos with mushrooms and stuff like that. And I will make a video with makeup with mushrooms right away, so you can watch that later. And please subscribe